All right, so we're going to be back at it again with Legionwood. Just a reminder, in the description, I'm going to have little timestamps about when certain things happen, uh, just as a reminder. So if there's a spot you don't want to look at, or you've already beaten and you just want to go to a part you're stuck at, or just want to see what I do, you can go ahead and skip there. All right, so we're just kind of going through here. In this section, there's a lot of walking. I'm going to go through quite a number of glyphs. Going through the north here is a bonus area. You can skip, but you need to get a key later down by walking. So we're going to have to do that part first. It is worth your time to grab. As particular, you will fight a mob that you can only fight once, and it's worth a fair amount of XP. It's fairly easy. It's just mini boss, and we're boss killers at this point. But additionally, it's that luck charm for the double XP, which is kind of nice. XP good. It's free stats. You get your base stats from level ups, plus that 10 points you can put into whatever. So 10 attack, If you think about it, that's about a quarter of an item at this point, and a late game item at that. So I would say it's well worth it. All right, so we're going to go up these stairs. And then we're going to open up this door with the door key, talk to this little pile of bones, get the cellar key, and when we go down, you can't step in the cracked boards. So you're going to have to walk carefully to walk around them. Go down there, open up the doors with space. Do it again. They really locked this up. And this monster will be pretty easy. Out of all the test runs I did before doing this recording, I believe he always used the attack boost move, Sharpen. So it's pretty free. So if you want to use this as a prep turn at all, you can. A devastating critical. So I don't think it's too difficult to take out. Yeah, he's pretty easy. And then if you get a stun, you're just going to DPS him out. Now, you'll notice that I'm using slightly different equipment than my last recording. That is because I'm using a different save file. I missed some stuff and wanted to get you guys a good recording. So there's that. So he's using the Death Lance, and the sword that Lon is using is from that monster that I said it's really hard to run into. That's slightly better than a fire sword from last time. Here we go. 9,000 XP, 18,000 if you have the luck charm equipped. I think it's worth the time. It's not too annoying. For the monsters in the area, none of them have any good drops. Some of them have none, and some of them are stuff you already have. XP-wise, it's about the same as that bonus area you went into with the Rosetta Stone. So this isn't even worth grinding. The only upside is that this area, you can just walk towards the edge and leave the map right away versus having to walk through a small portion of a dungeon, which isn't that big of a deal because you would need one glyph ward, which is 40 gold. So that's not a huge deal. I'm gonna have to keep walking here for a little bit. I'm going to make sure to heal. I'm not saving tactically in case I goof this up, but you're hearing this, so I don't screw it up. Here we're going to get into a little story section once we walk past these pillars. I think it's going to be the first pillars we walk past at from where our character is standing. We will immediately run into a boss. Also, if you look at Lon right now, you can see he's standing on top of another character model's sprite. I'm pretty sure this is because the game isn't accounting for our hero being there twice, our sister, because she has to show up for the cutscene, and is that because she's in the summon slot, so she's overlapping, so the game doesn't know how to position it. We crit for a little bit. I haven't pumped as much attack into her. She's only got 130 in this fight. I did beat this on one of my trial runs without him ever transforming, which when I really did this, I didn't even realize I had done that. This is the second time I've done this. So if there's multiple forms, if you beat the first HP bar, you'll still go through, and I believe both will be added into your books. your monster book if you care about that in particular, because the game will recognize that this is dead, therefore you must have also seen the other formation because they're listed as separate. And now you can see that he has transformed. He's got 31,000 hit points right now. I don't think he's that bad, even if you don't go through it. I mean, you can try and do the stun lock method that I've kind of showed. Toxify is just good in bosses in general. But I don't think he's too bad. He's going to use a lot of debuffs, so you could be cycling through your hazes just to kind of hit everyone. You don't have to guess. He doesn't do a particular lot of damage. He hit Lon here, so he's going to take some poison damage, but the blessed armor he's wearing is going to heal him back. So he's barely taking any damage. It's going to take him 20 turns for him to die. Sure. I will win this fight way before that. Lon dodging in his sleep here is particularly impressive. And he should be pretty close to dead. Let's see here how much does he have left. At 48 hit points. Almost die to the poison tick. I don't know if Muddle here is going to stick over to the next screen. I don't believe it will. I believe it's only in combat, but I think she also leveled up, so that also would have cleared it. So we're going to clear off our stats so we don't have to see the ticks, because it's really annoying, especially if you're seizure sensitive to that stuff, and we want to be nice and kind to you folks. So we're going to keep walking, and we're outside. There's nothing interesting in the map. There's no map items I've shown before. I think we've already grabbed them all. There's like 5 or 7 in total. I can never remember. All right. So there's a couple important things. The cleric and the inn don't have anything. You want to go to this cleric right away. Bonus crits, an extra 4%. It's not super needed, but it's nice. All right, so for techs here, we're going to kind of go into the tech shop. Hindering light is okay. There's an item that does it. Smooth haze we already have. I don't remember the alien slash. Energy bomb is nice. You just kind of pump out the nukes. Healing haze, AoE heal, time slip. There's weapons that do that. I guess this is more accurate, but it doesn't affect bosses, and we're already one-hit shotting stuff. I don't get why you'd want Astral Blessing. It takes up a turn. You're probably going to kill it. There are monsters that or bosses that can one-shot people, but then you're guessing, and I would just rather use my turns more effectively. I guess you can protect your healer if you only have a 1 healer party and you don't want to use what I'm doing with the 5-person party, but you could also just have 2 mages and 2 fighters. So I'd do with that information as you will. The other techs weren't worth learning. You will notice I skipped the weapon shop. There's a pretty good reason for that. We're going to have to walk back here after this little story explanation. And we'll go back there. We'll have to talk to them. That's going to give us some equipment, and then we can go to the shop, and I will show you some of that when that shows up. Otherwise, we just have story. Everyone's favorite. You are going to want to pay attention to your equipment, because you can't leave this dungeon. Once you are in it, you are in it to win. I don't think it's terribly difficult. From a combat perspective, we'll show you how annoying it is when we get there. So you are going to make sure you want to have all your items equipped. You shouldn't have to worry too much about leveling, because there's the heal crystal. So if you are under level, you can still technically grind, although the mobs here aren't amazing. They're about as good as the bonus area we went to with the Rosetta Stone. Like I said, they're about 6,000 XP, and they're like element based, so it's really annoying. There we go. Story's finally done, and we can go to the black shop. All right. So I'm highlighting here the fake out method. That is a move you can use on the boss. It doesn't do any damage, but you can stun lock him um, if you don't want to equip the bonus weapons. If you, or I shouldn't call them bonus weapons, they're basically story weapons specifically just for this boss, which is cool. Like, think of the Wolfbane that we had in the Wolf Whip. I don't remember what it's called. Uh, Super effective against him. Good otherwise. You have to use this. Otherwise, you do no damage to him with physical attacks, even with like high attack stats. I had over 410, and I just couldn't do any damage to him. So if you want to do damage that way, you're going to have to. You're only going to need one on a dual wielder because it'll apply the on-hit effect on both. It's just the way the game's coded. It makes it easier on the coder's part, to be fair. To be more fair, it also makes the game a little busted. All right. So, Excalibur's okay. Red Baton, worth buying. It's better than some of the items you're using. The other ones, Kunai is a good secondary weapon, especially if you have more than one dual wielder, if you went and get that perk. Everything else is fine. You should have more than enough stun pendants. Like, you would have had to have sold one to not have enough. I think I have 4. So, the weapons here, or the items here are good. Diamond headbands, fantastic. You don't lose any agility on them. Angel Demon Claw, I'm buying them just to kind of show them off a little bit. They're not bad as well on spellcasters. One's going to give you slightly more stats. One's going to give you SP. One's going to be HP, I believe. I definitely recommend it. Don't worry. I am not low on gold as I'm about to show. Yeah, I can sell all of those for money. I'm good. It's easily enough, and we're almost done with the game as well. So I'm just going to go over a quick cheese strat in case you cannot beat the boss. Let's say you're just having issues. You use Fake Out, which is half the SP of the parry move. So you're not going to do any damage, but you're going to be able to stun them, and you're going to be able to do that stun lock for longer, and then you can just use Tri-Spell or any other magic. I guess you could use Nuke. You can use items if you have any to get it. You can use the Miracle Loot, which will be in the dungeon as well. If you've used the other ones, you should have like 2 by now. If you haven't used them, it's fairly simple. Okay, so yep, I'm going to do some of the equipping just to make sure we have it. Well, let's see here. Okay, yeah, I was right. I remember that correctly. The alien sword is from that mob I was kind of talking about a couple episodes ago with the volcano. Not that much better. Don't mind me. I was just a little blind. Now, the diamond headband doesn't provide any magic stats, so it doesn't improve your magic user and whatnot. So they're going to lose some magic stats if they equip it. It's going to be better than our silk robe. It's an improvement. 8 magic and 9 defense. Nothing to scoff at. Plus, you're getting free points back every turn. I'm not entirely certain if it's better than the Dryad robe. Mithril staff, it's better than that. I forgot to check if it was better than what Thracia, or not Thracia, has. The other girl has. All right, don't mind me. You have to talk to the other old guy. There we go, Martin. Okay. He's going to warp us in, and we cannot get out. And I've told you the cheese strat. If doesn't that work for you, then I don't know what to tell you. Otherwise, we're going to go in. I'm going to try and get it. Okay. It's dark as hell in here. So it's particularly annoying to fight. Like I said, mobs aren't that great. There's 4 different kinds. There's the fire, ice, lightning, and then there's the robot sprite monster. You can get a submachine gun from them if you like ranged weapons. Cool. You've gotten half the good items right now with the shoulder pad. I'm not going to even bother equipping it. My stats are just kind of overkill right now. So you'll want to notice some of these bookshelves. They're going to move a little bit. Fun fact about this area, even the developer who wrote a little mini guide to this game gets lost. So that's fun. I found it in an old Steam forum post. He seemed semi-active when the game first kind of came out, but the game's older, so I haven't seen anything new from them at all. If I do find anything, I'll do a quick look and add it in the description. That book we just grabbed is going to open some possibilities up. There's going to be one other book we grabbed from a bookshelf, and that'll reopen things up. And we'll be able to get to the final boss. The area is small, thank God. I hate this map with a passion. Not because it's difficult, but it's just annoying. There's not even any good items in it, other than like the shoulder pad, which I believe you can buy later in the game. I just walking in the dark. We can go back down. And we can grab this chest. There we go. 2 of the 2 good items. Alright, so cord. I would recommend saving here. I'm not doing it in case I botch my save file up. I'm just going to dump some stats in just to make sure, because this area is a pain. I don't want to do more than one recording of this. I'm already on recording 2. And that's not because I died. That is because I forgot to turn my mic on. So we're going to test my editing skills. I know I said tanks are bad, but we're never having an attack physically. So most of those stats don't mean anything. Attack-wise, she's using magic, so attack doesn't matter. Agility is just a garbage stat. So we could add stuff into HP, which doesn't give you a good return on investment. In my opinion, it's 2 for 10. I don't recommend it. Okay. So this is the little boss battle. It's got 50,000 hit points. So I'm going to use the cheese strat just to kind of show that it works. It's kind of annoying. The first move he always uses in all of my tests is edit down. And it's going to do that much damage to everyone. And I'm saying that much, not the specific 920, because it'll be slightly different from you. I don't know how it's calculated. If he does it again, we're going to see their HP go to 1. This has happened every fight I've done, and I just kind of ignore it. If you want to, you can just have your dedicated healer just do heal all. You know, like every turn. You can get the Toxify. See? It did a different amount of damage, but I did it to everyone regardless of their stats. You can Toxify with an on-hit effect, but I wasn't able to get Toxify as a spell. So keep that in mind. We got our stun in. That's pretty good. We can tell they're all really low, and they're down to 1. So I think the way this works is sweet critical. I think the way this works is that you take the total HP bar of the top 4, maybe 5 that deployed people, I mean by the top, and then you divide it by that number. So if there's 4 people, there's 4. If there's 5 people, there's 5. I think that's how it goes. Because it just seemed to be a flat damage, and it's kind of with what the attack's description is. The poison tick did it. You basically take 10% from poison, so it's like we have 6 people. I don't remember what the tablet shard does, to be perfectly honest. So that's where I'm going to wrap up the recording for now. There's a bonus area afterwards, but there's some flashing lights later, and the story section's kind of long, and there's not much afterwards. So take care. Don't forget to like or comment if you have any information. Dislike it if you hate it. Please do. And have a nice day.